Hello. In today's lesson, we're going to be given a variable that we need to solve for. And you notice that within these equations, there are other variables sitting in there. So when we say solve for y in the following equations like it does in the instructions here, our result is not going to be a number necessarily, but a y is going to end up being equal to some other expression. And so it's our job to figure out what to do in order to get y by itself and figure out what that expression is. So let's go ahead and get going. In number 1, we have 3x plus 2y equals 7. And so what we want to do is, again, just try to get y by itself. Now, things that are happening to y. If I were to plug numbers in for x and y, and I followed the order of operations, the first thing that would happen is I would multiply by 2. And then the second thing that would happen, I would add 3x to it. And my result should be 7. So I just want to go in reverse order to undo that. So that's what we will do here. Okay, so we want to undo the add 3x first. And how do we undo add 3x? We're going to subtract 3x. And I'll do that on both sides. Okay, so we subtract 3x on both sides. That's what we're doing. Okay, that should undo this one right there. Okay, and so what is our result when we do that? Well, on the left side, 3x minus 3x, that cancels. It's gone. It goes away. So the only thing left there is a positive 2y, so I can just rewrite that as 2y equals. On the other side, I have 7 minus 3x. Now, 7 is a constant term, it's just a number, whereas 3x has a variable in it. So these are not like terms. Again, one has an x and one doesn't. So I cannot combine these, and it just stays 7 minus 3x, and there it is. So that part's done. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. We need to undo multiplying by 2. And how do we undo multiply by 2? Well, we divide by 2. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Divide both sides by 2. So divide 2. All right? And on the left side, the 2y divided by 2 should cancel, leaving us with just y. We should have a 1 here, a 1y, which is just the same as y. Equals, on the other side, 7 minus 3x over 2. Now we have two options. We can deal with the 7 minus 3x first and then divide that whole thing by 2. Or we can look to see if all three parts have a 2 that comes out of it, or even anything else. And 7, 3, and 2 are all prime, so no, nothing other than 1 is going to come out of there, and that doesn't change anything. So we'll leave it as 7 minus 3x over 2. And there's my answer. And the processes are the exact same as what we've been doing. It's just now our result has a variable in it instead of just being a number. Okay, let's keep going. Let's look at number 2. I have 3y over n equals m. And so what is happening to y here? Well, first, we are going to, if we were plugging a number in for y, we would multiply it by 3. Then we would divide that result by n. By n. Okay, so let's undo that just like we did before. So we're going to undo divide n first, which means opposite of division is multiplication. So let's multiply both sides by n. Multiply n. Okay, on the left side, n divided by n gets me a 1. 1 times 3y is 3y. And on the right side, m times n is mn. All right, so that's taken care of. We've done the division of n. So let's take care of multiply 3. And what's the opposite of multiply 3? We're going to divide by 3. That's what we're doing here. We're dividing 3. Divide 3. Okay, and on the left side, 3 divided by 3 will cancel, leaving me with 1. So I have 1 times y, which is y. And on the right side, m times n divided by 3. Again, nothing to simplify here. There's nothing in common with an m, an n, and a 3. So that's all done. And there's our answer. There's our result. All right, let's look at this one next. I have the instructions here to solve for t, and I have the formula d equals rt. And hopefully this looks a little familiar to you. This is a formula that says that distance is equal to rate times time. And we're just simply solving for t. So what's happening to t? If we were to plug a number in for t, the only thing we would do here is multiply by r. So we're going to undo that. We're going to divide both sides by r to get it by itself. Divide r. And so on the left side, d divided by r, nothing to simplify there. On the right side, the r's will cancel, leaving me with just 1t. And that's it. And we're done.